In this video we're going to look into sending the mail. So we are going to experiment a bit with this. So first of all, go in and import the mail facade here in Laravel, and then go in and click mail send, and then we want to say new verify email, and we want to take in a user. Remember, this will only work if you actually use the user model. It won't take in anything else. I mean, if you wanted to send different things, you could do that. And also, we can also go in here and update the doc here. So we basically just put in the param here in the documentation. But yeah, like you need to do that and then set up the email settings, which there's plenty of information on doing on the internet. It's pretty much just copy and paste from the email settings you have. I mean, you can use Gmail, which is a bit more complicated, but like that's something that you can do yourself, because I'm not gonna show my email details. You just filling it in and then that's it, like, you know. So plan is now to be able to receive this email here where we just will say hi, and then we want to basically be able to use the details here. So since we sent this with this details here, we want to be able to say hi, and then we want to say details, and we want to be able to say name. And let's just start out with putting out name there, and then just details, and we want to have email just to see if it works. So with that said, let's go in and create a new user. I'm just gonna go in here and use one of my emails here. So and I'm gonna use this one I've used before, and if I didn't go inside here, remove this user, and then I will also go up and open expect element here. So we need to make sure we pass the details through properly. And let's see if this is gonna be working. So let's go in now, basically log out, and I'm gonna show you the email later on using my main software here. So okay, so if we go in now, try to remove this one here. I think if we go in now and just put in stuff like this here, I'm just gonna go in and check in some code I used before. So if I go in here, I will go in here and see what is this. We need to have that as a public. I think that's the only thing. So if we reset this as a protected, so if we put this as a public and go in, refresh, delete, just do like this, just clearing out the other things in here. We don't need to have everything. Alright, so this should basically send us an email with the details here. I'm gonna be opening up my email application software, but obviously I'm just gonna blur out things in here. So if I go inside spam folder here, so most of this will be blurred out. Need to have proper. Here it is. So yeah, most of this will just be blurred out, but as you can see here we have the mail, and yeah, that's pretty much it here. So now we want to pass in some variables. So in here, let's go in and put for URLs. We want to have this, and just for is making it a bit more structured. Let's go in here, and then let's go in and say you put in your app URL, but this time we just gonna put HTTP localhost port 3000, and then verify, and then we're gonna go in, we can actually say auth verify, and then we're gonna pass in details, and we are gonna have this one here plus this, and then we want to have details ID. So what we basically want to do here is we would the able script, we're going to retrieve these two here. So we're going to have oh wait, we need to put in the name of the variable, sorry. So we're going to have this here, and then we're going to put in the ID of the user, at the same time making sure that both of these are correct, so we are not just relying on one variable, because when you create the user, you obviously won't know the user ID just yet, so like that will make it more protective. So then the plan is, inside our register controller, let's go and create a function here. This function we are gonna call verify, and this is gonna take in a request, and in here we want to say request user update email verified add, and then we want to say email verification code, which we are gonna set to something new. Like, I mean, you could put this on as a nullable and then put it this is empty, but let's say you want to use two-factor authentication, you could, by doing this, you could go and send the link here, and then from the email you could sign in instead. So I mean, you can use this in multiple ways, but we could technically just put this to null, but just to be sure that this code is going to be invalid, at least change this to something new, and then we're going to return response with some JSON, and in here we actually just want to return let's put in here data, and then let's say success. It's going to be true. What we're going to do then is we're going to force NuxtJS to refresh the user, so it will know that the user is authenticated if you're signed in. If you're not signed in, it will put you forward to this login page, and then it's fine. That's it. So yeah, beside that, that is pretty much everything here. Like, you can go in and just maybe make this a bit more user friendly. Please verify your email address by clicking the link below. The button does not work. Please click on this URL. So what we can do here is we can go in here, copy and paste this, put an anchor tag with some blade, and then we can go in and say, actually we can actually also just do it a bit more simple and just basically say like this, and then just say equal. But you don't have to do this. Like, it's like, you know, really up to you. But we're gonna just leave it like this here, and you can always put in like something on below here. So let's go in here and delete this user, and let's just sign in again and see what the rest is gonna be. And then give like my email application just a second, and it should be ready. And here we go. So user ID 9 and our token or verification code that we're gonna pass through the URL. And then what we can do now is go inside Nux here. Let's go in and create a folder called verify. And then let's call this token.view. And all this is basically gonna do is it's gonna redirect the user if there's no issue with this. So we're gonna just export default, and for now let's just say unmounted. We wanna just console.log the param. So we wanna say this the param dot token. Actually, we want to say this dot route the params. So what is the issue here is, let's see, inside our verify, if we just leave this for now. We're gonna look into this error in another video, but in the next video we're gonna basically be focusing on verifying the user using the details passed through the URL, and then we're gonna allow the user to continue with normal permissions. We're gonna create a middleware that requires you to have an authenticated email account. By default, NuxtJS already comes with a middleware for like the auth, because we're using the auth models. Like if we go in here and say middleware auth and accessing the home page, we need to obviously just go in here auth login. The thing is that we need to change the redirect inside the Nuxt configuration here. So if we go in here inside Nuxt configuration, inside auth, we can say redirect. And then we can say where we have the home. It's gonna just be dash, and then login is gonna be auth login. And then it will just rebuild more stuff. But basically, this will fix the issue. Then we log in. We can go to the home page. This is just cookies messing up in here. So let's leave that for now and then just put it in here. But the point is, you can, oh wait, it's because we're adding the middle of it to default here, that's why. So if we go inside index.vue here, go in here and say script, export default, and now it works. But if I go in and log out, it will automatically put me there. So if we put in these two back, just log in, log out, now it will redirect me to the login page. So this is like how we can basically protect it here. We can even go in and create our own middleware later on, like you can make one for admin permission and so on. But I think this video has been long enough now, so in the next video we are going to be focusing on creating the verification of the email, and then move on to be able to quickly just make an admin verification, and then look at roles later on, but just quickly make something, and then we're gonna be able to create a course, and then we're gonna look at creating the lectures and so on.